Ah man, this is one full year since the last video, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching this video, well, you are here. God has spared your life this far. And ladies and gentlemen, let's begin this video. The first video was the building of the foundation of the Masonry Storeroom. The second video, we laid the blocks, and this video, what we will be doing is the building of the roof of this storeroom. Blocklayer.com made it very easy in constructing this roof. It gives you the walls length, width, and height. It also gives you the thickness of the wall, which we had at 6 inches. It also gives you the roof angle and the overhang. You could also punch in the rafters, the hips, and the ridge dimensions, the rafters spacing. All those are the dimensions of my masonry storeroom. And then of course you press calculate, and this is what you get. You get a detailed sketch of the roof. You also get a little more than a summary of the information that you put in, and also to include the square footage of the roof. There is also information on the spacing of the rafters on the hip and ridge in relation to the ring beam. And finally, there is also a list of all the materials that you will need. I just touched the surface of the amount of information you could get on blocklayers.com. You will have to check it for yourself, explore it, and see exactly what's there on blocklayers.com. Well, the roof that I picked is the hip roof. Let's begin. Now let's get into the actual construction of the roof of the masonry storeroom part 3. I'm putting up the plywood, and between those plywoods I will be putting up the steel for the ring beam. That's where the concrete will be poured, and the rafters will be in the ring beam, poured in the ring beam. Okay, I just set up, this is the ridge, and right here I'm putting up the common rafters, and the hips will be supported between those common rafters, the 4 hips, and on those hips will be the creepers. Now I'm doing little odds and ends, making sure everything is to the correct dimensions, to the correct angles, at the correct spacing. So there are the creepers, and that's what I'm screwing on. One thing you have to do is make sure that you have some good solid screws that will hold those rafters on the hips and the ridge. That's very important, especially in this location, even though it's just a little storeroom. Now here I already put the plywood, the steel. I'm pouring the concrete. My son is helping me there, pouring the concrete between the in the ring beam. Pouring the ring beam, and you could see the concrete there. The rafters are in the ring beam. Ring beam is poured, clearing off all the excess concrete. And now this is the primer that my son and I primed the rafters. Now we put in the paint, exterior paint. I wasn't too sure how long it would take before I put the plywood, but it didn't take that long. Eventually we got the plywood. My son here is painting the plywood, and after that we hoist them on this mechanical gadget that I got from my brother. It makes the job much easier. And first I lay the plywood on, then I cut, make sure I get the measurements. It's piece of cake. And of course, while you cut, you also screw the plywood on the rafters, and I'm building it to withstand category 5, 6, whatever. The advantage is it's a small structure, and it's not much that the wind could hold on there, even though the overhang is a foot long. All right, this is it. Now I'm putting that felt, that black felt, and this keeps the moisture away. Also, if any water get through the galvanized, this will protect it, or not protect it, but, well, yeah, protect the roof and whatever contents is inside the structure. I'm putting the purlins, 2x6s. The 2x6 purlins are on the hip and on the edges, and between there are the 2x4. The rafters and purlins are actually reclaimed wood from a building that was demolished. To get the rafters, what I did, I take the 2x6s and the 2x8s, and I pretty much put them together, screw them together on each other, and got those. Well, it's not exactly 2x, they actually are 1.5 inches. And when I put them together, I got 3x8s and 3x6s. Here I'm putting the galvanized, and at the same time, because I have that scaffold on the side is a little higher. I don't want to put it one time and then put it again to put the guttering and the fascia board. So as I'm doing that side, I'm putting the guttering, putting the fascia board at the same time. Also, you could see I'm on the other side of it, and I do the same thing on that side. Pretty much I put the scaffolding once. This is all I had. I couldn't put scaffolding around the whole structure. Yes, I could, but this is easier. This is easy to set up and put down. Still, I only want to put it up once. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It's getting on. The building is almost done. And this, ladies and gentlemen, that's part 3 of the construction of the roof of the Masonry Storeroom. You could see the nice, beautiful green at the back of there. Most likely, I would say this is during the month of January. And this building was built a few years back, just before the hurricanes in 2017. And that's the January of that year. So it was a long process. I did it after work and sometimes on weekends. So it wasn't something that I just did all at once. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining me on this journey. Please subscribe, press like and share, and see you on the next one. Remember, just get something done. Enjoy.